I'm feeling kind of trapped in here. I mean, look at me here. Look at, what the hell? Couldn't get out of here if I wanted to. We're going to walk down a different road today, though, a little bit. Let's walk down this road. So, I got one of these here. They're an odd thing, these things. So this truck, I'm doing it for, there's a fellow lives a couple of miles from me, and he builds, repairs, builds, fixes and sells insurance write-offs. I don't know if they do that where you live, but where I'm at, it's a thing. You get in an accident, your insurance company, the repairs are more than, I think here it's still about 40%, somewhere in those lines. If the repair costs more than 40% of the value of the vehicle, she's gone. So then they go to an auction, and somebody like this fella that owns this thing buys them. So this thing was here. Just a sec. Let me stabilize you. How's that grab you? So this thing got whacked into the front end, and it's got cat tracks on it. So this is what they do with new trucks now. I don't know if you know this. Maybe not. Maybe you find this interesting. I don't know if it's interesting or not. I don't really get the progression, but somebody does. So the fenders on these new vehicles now there's just teeny tiny little bolt holes in the tops of these. And so your fender now is just an outer skin that drapes over top of that. I mean, look at that. That's made out of iron, and it welds to the firewall here. It comes in, it welds to the structure, and then it's plated over and boxed with this big thingamaboob here. So I don't know exactly what happened to this turlet. It got hit in the front, but it didn't get hit even hard enough as to damage those rails. Like it didn't even knock the dust off them. It did get hit hard enough that he put a different radiator in it, but that's the factory transmission cooler, and it's still there. So, where are you? How'd that go? Nice, hey? So it cleaned the front end off of it, apparently. The bumper, both fenders, headlights, grille, crumpled the hood up. But there is a chip on the leading edge of one door, and that's it. And they stroked this thing off. This is a 2023, I believe. And so they stroked her off, run her through the auction. Tim bought it. He's had these put on. So in Canada here, if you fix it right off, the thing has to go and it has to be inspected by a licensed salvage inspection facility. They got to facilitate the inspection on it. And they are... Man, are they government regimented. It, honestly, to me, it just about ain't worth the bullshit and the hoops that you got to jump through with the Canadian government to keep your license, and you get audited on a regular basis. So anyways, so this thing, the oddity with this thing that I find, number one, this is a 2020, it's made 9th of 23, so this is technically, I think this would be a 24. So technically, this thing is only a year old. So it's pretty damn new, but it's the old body stock, so it's a classic. However, the thing about this is it has just over 600 kilometers on it. So where you're watching from, what's that? That's probably just over 400 miles. 400 miles on this truck. Should we pause for effect? Because that's not very much. 400 miles. This thing still has chalk marks all over it that they're supposed to clean off. You know, it's for your inspection. Here, I'll show you some of them. It's weird. So as we walk around this thing, so it is a Ram 1500 Classic, and I think that's what they call it when they use all their old sheet metal. And I don't know what stage that motor is, if it's like a newer Hemi or an old Hemi. It's got 5.7 Hemi in it. Where's one? So there is a blue chalk mark. I believe that's looking at your door gaps. When you open the door, don't lose that. There's another chalk mark. Oh, it's down there. I think that's when they're looking at weather strips and stuff. There's another chalk mark. Oh, look at that. There's another chalk mark. So that's from somebody doing their control on it, hey? Their quality, and they're still on it. I noticed when I come around here, there's one in there for the trim. There's even still one there saying put an emblem here. There's another one in here saying, yeah, we're good. Oh yeah, there's no dealership sticker on the back of this thing. But I mean, this thing, it has not had anything put in the back. Like that, nothing has been put in here. I don't believe a bag of groceries. Nothing has been put in here. It's still got, that'll be a sticker from brand new still in the back window. But yeah, as you come around it, you know, like I say, in here, again, chalk marks. Usually that stuff gets cleaned out at the dealership when they detail the vehicle. It's not your big whizzy full load thingamabob. But yeah, like you can see there, 650 kilometers on it. That is pretty damn new. More chalk. I'm not taking that door handle out because I don't want to. They suck, they're stupid, I'm not doing it. And it's got a good edge around it that I can dig in there with a piece of 600 grit and not sweat it. But like I say, this when the fender hit this, it rubbed the edge of that door. Otherwise, I wouldn't have to touch it from the fender's back. And then that stuff. But I mean, it still has, the tires have still got blue on the lettering on the tires. And yeah, this thing went through, it went through an auction to do this. He cut the windshield out because these big collars, whatever you want to call them, the box plates that tie this into the cab structure, they sneak underneath the windshield by like that far. Because this piece goes up here and it's curved, but it runs like right there. So you cut the windshield out just for ½ an inch of that thing. Stupid Dodges. If you ever decide that you want to do this stuff, I got 2 things for you. Number 1, give your head a shake, because what's the matter with you? Like, seriously. And number 2, be a butcher, because it's easier. I mean, doing all this, trying to bag all this stuff up, just so that you can paint, you know, in there and back in there and up there. That's a pain in the dink. Right in the dink. You know what that is? That's a big boot right to the berries trying to do all that. It sucks and it's stupid. You cut it out. So, be a butcher. Don't give a shit about it. Paint the radiator. Get paint overspray all over the wires and the hoses and the whatnots and the thingamabobs and the hoojamadoos. Paint the tire. Who gives a shit? It's not your tire. Just let her blow up on the dash. Just let her rip, tater chip. It's a hell of a lot easier than all this shit. I'll tell you that. I was told once by a fella 100 years ago, maybe about 106 years ago, when you're blowing a vehicle off and tacking it off for your final, before you're going to paint it, don't blow it with line pressure. Don't blow it with 385 pounds of pressure. Because all you're doing if you blow it that much, with that hard, with that high of pressure, if there's some little bits of dirt and shit that's kind of hiding around something, you know, in there, and you hit it with that much pressure, well, you're just pushing it in there, and it's going to stay there. And then when you hit it with your paint gun, which is considerably less air pressure, then that's when the turbulence will get in there. Instead of pounding it in there, the turbulence will get in there, and then it's going to come out. Just about guaranteed, just about every time. Don't blow it off with 100 pounds of pressure. Go light. And if you're doing something that's got to be really ridiculously nice, a lot of times, if it's just something that's just retarded, I will tack it off using my paint gun for the air with my fan and everything, because now you're hitting it with the same air pressure, the same orientation that you're going to be hitting it when you're painting. Just a little titty bit there. Little bitty titty. was the same guy that told me that 90%, at least 80 anyway, of your dirt and shit in your paint is either coming from you or the vehicle. You ain't picking it up off the floor and hucking it up on the side. So just cut it out. Well, there it is, boys and girls. Yeah, whatever. Like I said, if you decide that you ever want to do this, you know, more than on a Sunday afternoon, well, just give your head a shake because you're stupid. And that is probably the second or third step in how you repair a rode-off stupid hunk of Dodge. Thanks for watching. See ya.